Good afternoon, well, evening, because it's 11:21. So, I got on here because I've been on Facebook. I've been watching YouTube stories and YouTube and the news, and you hear a lot about Black Lives Matter, and you're hearing about the Ahmaud story, you hear about the George Floyd story, you hear about the Trayvon Martin, you hear about a lot of different men, black men, young black men, that's what I'm going to say, getting murdered by quote unquote Caucasian people, police officers, just regular old folks, regular old people. But I hear a lot about the men being killed, and don't get me wrong, it's important. I mean, I'm angry, I'm upset about the situation that's going on with our black men being shot and killed. It's being recorded, and it's not being dealt with properly the way that it should be dealt with. Let's put it that way. But there are black women who have been killed by police officers as well, like the Sandra Bland and Breonna Taylor. That was a recent one. She was in her own house, and they had a no-knock search warrant. Where they do that at? I mean, I've never heard of a no-knock search warrant, but I guess, nowadays anything is possible. But to me, with a no-knock search warrant, and you in plain clothes, to me, that means you trying to rob me. So that means I gotta protect my house and my family by any means necessary. Now, when you coming in my house, when you coming into my place where I live and I lay my head, that's supposed to be my safety place. That's supposed to be my safe spot where I'm supposed to be able to lay my head comfortably and not worry about somebody trying to come in my house without my permission. So even though you had a search warrant, okay, but it's a no-knock search warrant. When do we start not knocking on doors for people to go into people's houses? I mean, since when did you become such an authoritarian that you can just go in someone's house without knocking? I mean, I'm just saying, because to me, that is not a search warrant. That's just robbing. That's just being, sneaky. That's putting someone in an awkward situation because they don't know that you're the police. You don't have to announce yourself. You don't have to knock on their door. You don't have to say, hey, this is the Baltimore City Police. You don't have to say that with a no-knock search warrant. This is my first time ever hearing about a no-knock search warrant. I've never heard about that. Most of the times, and anytime they've ever did a search warrant that I've ever seen someone get, even when they get somebody's house getting raided, they knock on the door. They knock. Boom, 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 boom. They knock. I got on clothes just in case y'all want to know. I do have on clothes. But anywho, I mean, I'm just not understanding the logic in these killings. Like, it's really upsetting me. And then to go on to TV and you see all of this rioting and people breaking up people's, throwing bricks and breaking car windows and breaking into businesses and establishments, burning people's property down, and all of this craziness that's going on. And I'm trying to understand how and what do that have to do with the people being killed. I'm trying to figure that part out. That's the part that's blowing my mind right now. We are constantly having black men and women dying in the streets, dying in the jail cells, and it's constantly being televised and broadcast, but nothing is being done. But yet you can go out into the streets and you can go out into the neighborhoods and tear up your own neighborhood. You can tear up the stores that are in your neighborhood. not realizing that you have elderly people in the neighborhood, or you have disabled people in the neighborhood that needs those establishments in order to survive. But see, we don't care about that part. That part right there. Nobody seems to care about. They only care about, looting and stealing and setting things on fire and tearing up where you live at. They're not thinking about the consequences of their actions. Okay, I understand that you're mad. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm upset. Do I want to tear some stuff up? By all means, yes, I would love to tear some things up. But at the end of the day, what are you proving? What is being done behind you tearing up and stealing and looting things that don't belong to you? I'm not understanding it. Like the thinking of our people, and I'm not even just saying our people. I'm talking about the white people too, because they out there just as well. There's more of them out there right now than it is of us. Out there blowing up businesses and breaking into businesses and stealing and setting police cars on fire and beating up police officers. First and foremost, don't get me wrong, there is some crooked, low down, dirty, sniggy, grimy police officers out here. I'm not saying that there's not, because you have them. You have a lot of police officers that are grimy and dirty. They're dirty hots. Yes, we do have those. But at the same time, you have a lot of police officers that want to make a difference. A lot of police officers that are there to protect and serve. Not to take and kill, but to protect and serve. And you're making it difficult for the people who are doing the right thing to do their jobs. You making it hard for them to go out on the streets and protect you. Because your dumb tail want to be out there, beating them up. You want to be doing harm to them. It's not every police officer. So you can't hold every police officer accountable for what someone else did. Just like we can't be held accountable for if a black man go out there and do something that they not supposed to do, or a black woman go out there and do what they not supposed to do. The whole race is supposed to be blamed for that. No, that's not how that works. Same thing with the police department. Just because that man, that white police officer, decided that he wanted to break the law that day and put his knee on George Floyd's neck and kill him, that's not all police officers. I don't care if you're white, black, blue, Korean, Mexican, Japanese, Latino. I don't care what nationality you are. Wrong is wrong all day long. You cannot turn wrong into right. I don't care who it comes from. It'd have been the same thing if it was a white man underneath of that knee and a black police officer did that. I would be on here saying the same identical thing. What it is people have lost concern for humanity, for being just human. It ain't got nothing to do with the color of your skin. The fact that you're a human being means that you deserve to be treated with some kind of decency and respect, because you're human. God made us human beings. Now, I'm in here trying to teach my children how they're supposed to behave and act, just in case we ever get pulled over, or just in case an incident happens. Because I have a young black man that's a son. I have a young black daughter that's a female. Because they not only killing the males, they killing the females as well. The females just get swept under the rug, and it's more emphasis when the black men get killed. The black men, I'm sorry, not men's. The black men, because men is plural, it's more than one. Man is singular. Yeah, I do know. I know a little something. I'm not stupid. But at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff with the men, the black men that get killed, is televised all over the world. You have so many celebrities, you have so many people that's backing up this George Floyd thing, but yet nobody is talking about Breonna Taylor. No one's talking about the many other women who have died at the hands of a police officer or someone in a higher authority. We're not talking about that. And I think both sides need to be televised, not just the men. I think the men, the women. I think even if it's not just, even if it's not an African American person, even if it's not a black, quote unquote, what we call each other blacks, if it's not black people getting killed, I think that any time a police officer takes it upon himself to take matters into his own hands and not do what he is trained to do via police academy, because police academy, you get trained to be a police officer. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're not doing it by the book, then you're wrong. I don't care what color you are. I don't care who you are. Wrong is wrong. And a lot of times we keep accepting the wrong because it's behind an agenda or it's behind a cause. No, if you're wrong all day long. This looting, this bombing and blowing up businesses and setting things on fire and beating up police officers, it's craziness. Pure and utter chaos. And it needs to stop. Like, it really needs to stop. We're not thinking about the aftermath of what was being done. We're not thinking about what happens after all the rioting stops. The rioting. Let me pronounce my words and enunciate so that people won't have something smart to say. But we're not thinking about the aftermath. We're not thinking about what we're teaching our kids or our family members or the young people who look up to us when we go out and do dumb stuff. Because at the end of the day, I don't have anything against protesting. Nothing. As long as it's peaceful. I don't have nothing against protesting, making a stand, being out there, walking in the lines. I have no issue with peaceful protesting. But when it comes to violence, when it comes to destroying cities and states, and you're going from state to state, town to town, just tearing stuff that don't even belong to you. You turn up other people's property. You ain't blowing your stuff up. You blowing somebody else's stuff up. You burning somebody else's stuff up. Where's the logic in it? I'm trying to figure out what's the purpose in it. What is the overall end for you? What are you trying to get out of it? Because at the end of the day, to me, it's foolishness and it's stupid. It's stupidity. It's dumb. So we're going to fight violence with violence. Makes a lot of sense. So that means a lot of people are going to be dying because you're fighting violence with violence. I'm not understanding. I'm just, to me, it's not a well thought out decision. It's not a well thought out plan. And you have some celebrities that are down for the cause and they're there to support. You have a lot of people that are outraged about what happened to George Floyd. And they are not just people of color, African American descent. They're not black people. There's a lot of people who are not of black ethnicity that is upset and in an uproar over what happened to George Floyd. But you also have a lot of people that's using this as a reason to go out and be jackasses. Yes, jackasses. Tearing up property, tearing up people's stuff, putting your hands on people, being violent to the police officers because of the color of their skin. Doesn't make sense. I just don't understand it. No, I may not have a platform like the celebrities or like other people have all these thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers and people who view their videos. But at the end of the day, if only one person see this video and it changes something that they're doing, That's all that matters to me. I'm not here for likes. I'm not here for clicks. I'm not here for none of that. You ain't never got to subscribe to nothing on my page. But if this video gets to someone and it makes them think about the choices and the decisions that they're making, I'm all for it. Because at the end of the day, we got to do better than this. Because this, and I don't even think they're rioting here in Baltimore. Because that's where I'm at. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. I don't think they're rioting here, but it can come here. Because when the Freddie Gray thing happened, they were right up in here in Baltimore, tearing up stuff, tearing it up, stealing, burning down CVS 5 years ago. Matter of fact, this was 5 years ago when they was looting here. They was rioting here in Baltimore, Maryland because of the Freddie Gray case. And 5 years later, we got another black man dying on the streets. And what they doing, using it as an excuse, again, to riot it and steal stuff. It's stupid. Don't make sense to me, but hey, who am I? I'm just another black person on here trying to get people to realize that what you doing, it's not working. It didn't work 5 years ago. It didn't work the years before that. When y'all were doing all the rioting, it hasn't changed anything. Rioting is not going to change anything. Talking to your government officials, protesting, getting petitions, making laws be changed is what you need to do. Because even if you looting and you stealing and you rioting, if the laws haven't changed, guess what? The same mess gonna happen again and again and again and again. So instead of being out there on the streets rioting, stealing and looting and burning things up, find out who your government officials is. Write, sign petitions, peaceful protests, so that your voices can be heard and laws can be changed so that something can be different. Because that's the only way that people are going to be held accountable for their actions is when we start making them accountable for their actions. And we're talking about by laws being changed. We're not talking about going out there stealing and looting. Think about that. On that note, I'm out. Peace.